Hi there, welcome back. In this tutorial we'll see how OBJ objects work in Plexus. Go to new comp, go to new solid, and go to effect, apply Plexus. Now you see this add geometry makes you to add the OBJ object. Now go ahead and click the import OBJ here. Click open and browse through your file system, and you can import an OBJ file or file sequence. Now if the folder contains an OBJ file sequence, it automatically switches to OBJ file sequence, and you could turn it off if you want to, but I'm going to just leave it on. Or you can force the alphabetical order for the sequence, and if your project is already saved, it automatically gives you a relative path to the project, just in case if you need to share this project with somebody else. You could have them all in one folder, and click OK, and you could see this OBJ file, this points, and it's a file sequence, so you see this animation here. Now let me by default the facets are imported. To see those facets you need to have a facet renderer, so let me increase the maximum distance here all the way up, and let me add a new light for shading. Let's call it shade, and go to shading and use lights for shading, and light name begins with shade. So we have a basic OBJ file sequence with shading. You could crank up the maximum distance so the facets don't fade out when the distance between these points increase. So there you go. And in the OBJ you could transform the OBJ. You could invert the y-axis or x-axis if you want, because different OBJs have different scales, and it depends on the application that exports the OBJ file. So it helps you calibrate your whole system here and make sure it matches up with the After Effects system here. So this basically, you have all these transform controls, and you could change the color and opacity, and you could set the group if you want to. And this is important: after the OBJ sequence ends, make sure you can either freeze the last frame. So in this example, as you can see here, the OBJ sequence ends here, and the points just stay still after the sequence ends. You could loop it, the sequence, and it kind of keeps looping again and again and again. And you could do ping pong looping, which goes forward and then goes backward and then forward and then backward. It's like a ping pong loop in After Effects. Or you could do nothing, where the points just don't show up after the sequence ends. So this is the OBJ object in Plexus. Hope you guys find it useful. Thank you for watching.